Okay, well, good morning, people. I don't really know how to start an intro, but that's alright. Today I want to talk about a topic that's like very important to me as well as a lot of Americans, but I do want to start off with the disclaimer. I cannot vote yet. I'm underage, but I don't, I think that matters, but I think it is very important for children anyone underage minors to voice their opinion. We are the next generation. We're the next like set of generation that is gonna lead the country at one point or another. So I just want to make that clear. Just cause like I'm not a professional, I'm not paying taxes, nothing like that. So maybe that does add to my opinion. I don't really know. So again today, I just want to talk about the recent election that just finished about today this morning today. What day is it? November 6th. Yeah. So first I want to start off with swing states and basically just what the election was like before I get into the like presidency, why I support Trump, cuz I do, by the way. So first of all, let's talk about the swing states. These swing states, these are very important to the election as we never really know who they're going to vote for. So, like California, for example, they're usually going to be liberal, democratic. So, as we can see here, all the whole West Coast, by the way, they all voted Kamala. Again, with all these southern states, Texas expected all that. So we kind of knew what they were going to vote for. So we already could predict this. These, however, this whole area, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, maybe even Minnesota, not as much. We aren't really ever sure what they're going to vote for, who they're going to vote for. So they are very important to the election. So that is why you kind of want to focus on this region when you're looking at a map. So I want to talk about Pennsylvania first. Pennsylvania, 19 electoral votes, very influential. It was pretty much a, I guess, battleground state because, I mean, you really want to win 19 electoral votes and you don't really know who they're going to, so you really want to win this state. And at first, Kamala seemed to be winning, but at one point, I think it maybe around 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, Trump took it, and I guess he didn't let go. So, think around midnight, Pennsylvania finalized their vote. So 19 went to Trump. Michigan was kind of going back and forth. This is where I'm from, actually. So this surprised me. I really did think, and you can see it was pretty close. I really did think Michigan was gonna go Democratic, but they did not. Wayne County was red for the most part, and then they turned blue. So these blue areas, they're very highly populated. So don't let all this red deceive you. These blue areas hold a lot of the population of Michigan, like Detroit, Flint, Lansing. I think, yeah, that's what Lansing is. But yeah, unfortunately for Kamala, I guess you could say, Illinois is the only swing state that she won. That's 19 votes. But when you add all these together, 17, 19, 17 again. Oh, this is 11. I'm sorry. 15, 10. I mean, these clearly outweigh this. And also Wisconsin. Wisconsin was going back and forth a lot. Like they kept going. They were going red, blue, red, blue. So I wasn't even I'm not a professional, like I said. I wasn't really sure what they were gonna go for, but they ended up being red. But yeah, so that's basically the first part. You can just look at all this. As we can see, Trump won. A big part was all these South states. I did not mean to click that. Yeah, but all these Southern states definitely boosted him. Like Texas, that's 40. But yeah, again, these are really the big things here that really like gave Trump the definite win. Because again, they're very important as their swing states. So next, I just want to talk about why I am happy with this election. Why I'm happy that Trump won, because I like Trump more than Kamala. And again, I cannot vote, so my opinion I still think matters. But I didn't. I can't really do anything about this election. I couldn't vote, couldn't do none of that. I still want to voice my opinion, just because. Why not, man? And again, it's important. So, firstly, I want to talk about abortion. Now, abortion, of course, it's pretty much killing the baby before it's born. Most people do this could be because rape, incest, all those things, and but Trump, Republican, a lot of Republicans, they want a ban on this, except in cases of like incest or rape or special cases. You cannot get an abortion just because, well, I wasn't planning this, so why should I have it happen? You can't just do that. Kamala Harris, she does want full abortion rights. Again, Trump does not. Now, I want abortion right now is legal, but I want it to be banned because what I believe, as a Christian, you're kind of stepping in God's way, and you're kind of like changing His plan. Like, you can't just be like, can't like maybe God wants you want to have a baby, and then you can't just be like, well, I don't want one, so get out here. You can't just do that. So it's not just that. If you look at it from a moral perspective, yes, when you kill the baby, it is like very small. Can't really even think yet, can't really even see, none of that. But if you look at it from a moral perspective, I mean, would you just go find like a bunch of bird eggs and just smash them? And I know the bird didn't give you consent to do that, but let's just say that just happened. Like, you can't just kill this little life. You can't just take it out of the world because you wanted to. And I think there is some workarounds from this, like putting your kid out for adoption. That can be a very hard for you to do, maybe even expensive, which is why I think there should be some like financial compensation for that. Not necessarily compensate, I don't know the word, but just to make that more of a viable option, because again, I just don't think it is morally or religiously correct to be able to have an abortion. That's my view. Again, you can have different views. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna judge you, but not like criticize you for your beliefs. Again, I know I've said that a lot, but I really do want to make that clear. Next, I want to talk about foreign policy. Mainly Ukraine and Israel. Now, Ukraine is a very rough situation. The invasion started 2022. I'm not really 100% positive on this scenario, I guess, about what Trump wants to do there. I've seen that he doesn't want to give as much aid as Biden or Kamala Harris does. In this, I can see either side like being supported. Like, should we send aid or should we not? Should we send aid? Of course, like what's the word? If you want to send aid, you're like reasoning. The reasoning for that is basically, well, they're human lives. Russia is clearly a dictatorship. Plain sight. They're committing war crimes there. They're killing people, and we gotta. The United Nations, as a part of the United Nations, we should do something about that. And I can agree with that. Trump, however, I'm not really sure why he doesn't want to send much more aid. But my reasoning for that is, well, I don't want to say it's none of our business, but in a way we can be seen as hypocritical if we do. The Monroe Doctrine says we're not supposed to be included in European affairs as long as Europe isn't included in American affairs. So it kind of be hypocritical for us to just go out our way and just like go into Europe and do what we want. Now, I do think we should send aid to Ukraine, but not in large amounts. Like, of course we haven't declared war on Russia yet, but we shouldn't do nothing like that. I don't think we shouldn't like send too much supplies. I think we should send some, but not like an ungodly amount. I just don't think that's right. Because again, make America hypocritical and go against its own beliefs. At least what the government said for the past like 200 years, that we shouldn't be doing, going into Europe and just doing what we want basically. Um, Now this last topic, not really the last topic, but some. Oh shoot, let me go into Israel. Yeah, sorry. Let me go into Israel now. From what it seems, Democrats, liberals, they seem to support Palestine more, and Trump, the Israel more. Um, I again, I think Israel should definitely get our support, cause let me make this clear. A lot of people are uneducated on this topic. I'm not fully educated, of course, but Hamas, the situation has died down a little bit. It's not really getting as much attention as it once was, but Hamas is, I mean, it's really literally terrorists. That's what people aren't understanding. They're freedom fighters, but they are terrorists. They're putting civilians in the line of fire. They're making shelters in literal civilian hospitals, and that has caused Israel does not want to kill these civilians, from what it seems at least. Maybe they do. Maybe we can't really see inside their government, but Israel, I believe, is issuing out warnings to Palestinian civilians, and maybe Palestinian civilians cannot move because, well, the terrorists are literally keeping them inside. Maybe they're hoping that Israel will not fire because civilians, but that's not really fair because they're basically making it. If that was the case, Israel just couldn't be able to do anything about little terrorists attacking them. So yeah, I definitely believe that Israel should be getting way more. And I know I just said we shouldn't be really included in affairs internationally, but again, I still think Israel should be getting more uh, public support at least than Hamas or Palestine. But again, I want to make this clear. When I say Palestine versus Israel, Palestine is the people fighting are just pretty much Hamas, which again they're just terrorists. They're literally just terrorists. Again, they're committing war crimes. They're being terrorists. That's all I have to say about that. So last thing I want to say why Trump is a viable option for me. Again, I can't vote, but still a viable option for me. Is the Mexican border or just immigration as a whole. Now, Trump has said some stuff about this that's really just not true. Sorry, that voice crack. Uh, there's no immigrants eating dogs. I don't think cats. It's just not happening. I don't think that means immigration should be just more like illegal immigration should just be allowed, I guess. Um, from the south here. I mean, there's no denying it. There's a lot of cartels in Mexico as of now. They're sending in drugs. There's rapists coming in from there. Drugs. They're causing death or addictions which can tear people apart. It's just not a good situation. I mean, again, there's not terrorists, my bad. Like, literally, there's rapists and drugs just coming in from the southern border. And from a lot of Democrats or liberals, they just are okay with this. Well, because they're people and we should be letting them to our country. That's just that's just not true. You shouldn't just be letting in random people that you do not know anything about into your country. I'm not saying we should completely block off this Mexican border, but I'm saying we should be more strict about it. Definitely more strict because again, this is a very I mean, it's true. A lot of people might not say it. There's a lot of corruption, and it's very, not very, I don't want to say very, but it's pretty unstable down there. It's not the best place to be, honestly. Again, it's a very beautiful place, but it's just true. There's a lot of instability, a lot of corruption. Again, the cartel, horrible thing. The Mexican government is trying to fight against the cartel, but I mean, it's just too big, honestly. Uh, I mean, America. I don't know if we should help them. Honestly, maybe we should help them fight the cartels. That is a North American affair, so we should be allowed to do that, according to the government. But I mean, we should definitely help them get rid of these cartels. They're a huge problem. They're affecting us. I don't know if they're affecting like other parts of the world. Central America has the same problem. We could probably should do something about that too. But again, we definitely need to do something about Mexico and the cartel and the border again as the border as a whole. I didn't say this before. I don't know if build this board like having a more strict border means build a wall. It probably does, to be honest. So I don't know what that wall would look like, but really, uh, TLDR, we need to do something about this border. We just need to make it more strict. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but we just do. And now, I just want to talk about the hate that Trump is getting. Maybe I'll talk about the hate that Kamala is getting a little bit. Um, Now, Republicans do this too. I'm not blaming the Democrats on this fully, but a lot of people I can see, especially on like news channels that are biased towards Harris. They're saying like democracy is gonna end when he's in power. They're comparing him to Hitler, which is just unbelievable. Hitler killed millions in his own country. He killed literally millions, tens of millions, I believe, I'm pretty sure. In the Holocaust, he caused World War II, killed like 80 million people total. And it is not right to compare Trump to a a monster like Hitler, a fascist like Hitler. Uh, there's also saying just he's a dictator and he will be a dictator in general. If we're being real, it's not gonna happen. He's not just gonna become a dictator. He can't. There's no way. He can't just go to Congress and be like, "Well, make me a dictator." They're not just gonna be like, "Yes," even if it is Republican majority. It's just not gonna happen. People are only saying that because I sour about him winning. I mean, again, it's just he's not gonna be a dictator. There's just no way he can be a dictator. It's not gonna happen. You don't need to worry about him being a dictator. No matter if you do not like his policies, he's not gonna turn this country into like Nazi Germany. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I do want to talk about hate. I want to talk about the other side too. I do disagree with a lot, like I say, of what Democrats are saying. I don't agree on their foreign policy, abortion, the border. I don't agree with what they're saying on that. Does that mean you should make fun of anybody that supports them? No, of course, and again should be the same for both sides. You shouldn't just make fun of somebody for their beliefs, but of course, you can get into a a debate, an argument even. I don't want to say argument because that sounds negative. You can get into debates with these other people, but once you get into like personal stuff about like, oh, you're a Democrat and you're ugly, like, for example, like you can't just be like saying that and act like it's a good like, I guess comeback. I guess you could say. It's just when we argue with each other, we should be talking about, well, I think your policies are wrong because blank blank blank. Well, I think yours are wrong because of blank blank blank. It doesn't have to be like kindergarten stuff. Like you don't have to be like so positive, but you shouldn't be like incredibly negative to the other side. It's not how things get changed. It's just not a good idea. And this sounds really dumb coming from a 14-year-old, but I mean, I just believe that's how things should go. So, yeah, that's basically. I just want to give a rundown on why I believe that Trump is a good candidate, and basically how he won the election again with these Midwestern states, pretty much. Uh, so yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. Uh, Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're from. I'm gonna do something else now. Goodbye.